Hey guys, Frozen Stag here, and welcome to a fashion guide for Lucium Total War Europe 2.6. Today we are going to be covering the Spanish Empire. So, let's begin, shall we? Okay, starting off with units first. Now in the miscellaneous area, unfortunately I couldn't fit him onto the army I was using. So these are the Grenadiers, or Grenadier, or Grenadier Infantry, however you like to pronounce them. So essentially they essentially act as what Grenadiers do in Empire. They throw grenades. Essentially, and are very OP. Unfortunately, I can't actually show the stats, I'm afraid, but they are pretty OP in my opinion. Let's have a look at so you have quite a few. I put them in different groups, so that's pretty clear. Starting in group 1, you have your basic infantry guys. In group 2, you have your pikemen. In group 3, you have your missile infantry troops, essentially. You got your normal cavalry in number 4, and number 5 you got your missile cav, and 6 you have your cannons or artillery. So we'll start off with the units. Now the Iberian Home Guard militia is the units that you get straight off from the beginning of the game. Essentially your basic militia unit or spearman unit, or just essentially your garrison, basically, as spears and wasn't very used in the 18th century, as obviously. It's very obvious they're not used as is. We're playing an 18th century game. You're not going to be using your spears to drive off musketeer troops. So that's your spearmen, and over here is your New World infantry, heavy infantry. These are basically your just main infantry troops, your guys that aren't using spears, essentially. So yeah, they're basically units you can get when you get colonial armies that turn up in the campaign. So there are those. Now you got the pikemen units, the Southern Light pikemen here, which are units you get straight away. They're all very nice. I'll go for the stats. My apologies. It's my first time doing this, so I do apologise if I make any crucial mistakes at all or forget things. The more I do it, and the next one will probably be a little bit better because will have a bit more experience. The Catalan heavy pikemen are your next ones over here. They're your better pikemen, as you can see by the stats. So yeah. Now over to the missile troops. Starting here, we have the Spanish Imperial Riflemen, which is your best tier of gun troops, as you can see from the stats. Moving over, you have the Aragonese Line Infantry, which is your special unit for the campaign. So they're all very nice, and can only be recruited by you as per the special unit. So moving over, we have the European Bayonet Militia. So they're very fantastic, and because obviously, as obvious, they're bayonets. It's why they're called Bayonet Militia. Then you have the Iberian Line Infantry, and then you got the Common Musketeers, which is your basic. I think your first gun troop. Yeah, your first gun troop you can get. And then you got your Regimental Home Guard, which is again your basic militia unit, and this is, as it says, Home Guard, so they're not going to be your guys on the front line. They're essentially, I always find the Home Guard and the Home Guard militia to basically be just your garrison troops. Now we go on to the main cavalry tier over here. You pretty much start off with Iberian Line Cavalry. They're the first ones you get, and then over here, I'm getting used to these bloody keys are all over the place. So, Iberian Staff Cavalry, of course, they're very nice. They're your General's Bodyguard unit. Obviously, if they're wondering why you've got a Spanish flag in, in the campaign, the General's portrait will be, and it won't be the cavalry. It won't be a Spanish flag or anything. So they're your main General's Bodyguard unit. Over here, you got the Iberian Hussars, who are very nice. Very nice stats as well. And then you got your New World Cavalry, which again is very powerful. 20 charge bonus, that's very extreme, and you'll know when they hit you. So yeah, they're your troops you can get from the New World, of course. That's why it's called New World Cavalry. So moving over to the other mounted or the gun missile cav, you got the European Dragoons. And as you can see, they are very fantastic. Quite a bit of cost to them, but still good nonetheless. And then you got your mounted musketeers. I think these guys are your first. No, it's these guys are the first ones you get. but these are still pretty decent. I don't know why I've clicked on that. Whatever. So yeah, they're the Mounted Musketeers, and then you go over to the Mounted Raiters or Reiters. I'm not too sure on the pronunciation of that. So yeah, Mounted Raiters or Reiters, maybe, whatever. Yeah. So they're the missile cav as well. I think they're the first missile cav you can get. So let's go have a look at the artillery. Now, first of all, you'll have the Renaissance cannon. That's your first artillery you'll get in the game. And eventually you'll progress on to the 12-pounder cannon and the 24-pounder cannon. But the Renaissance cannon acts as almost like a mortar. The stats are very basic. Obviously the cannons get better. You can see the 12-pounder, see, for the makeshift cannon you have 55 attack V troops. When you get a 12-pounder that goes up to 63. And the building, attack versus building stays the same. And then when you go to the 24-pounder cannon, the 24-pounder cannon goes up by 100. So yeah, that's where you tell the difference. So you got the 12-pounder cannons, and then you got the 24-pounder cannon, which is obviously a lot longer if you're looking at size comparison there. So that's it for the units. Okay, so here we are at the campaign map. Now you'll immediately be confronted with the Welcome to Lucium Total War, which will tell you just the basic gist of everything. Welcome to Spain. Now this part will just tell you the campaign description. If you didn't read it, you have to read it again. Well, you don't have to read it again, but here it is anyway. And it will tell you all about what Spain is going through. Now, at first glance, you'll have quite a few provinces around, and immediately you'll be confronted with public order issues. Now, it's to represent that these areas are essentially rebelling colonies. They are rebelling against Spanish rule, and they're not too happy with them at all. So it makes Spain quite difficult. They are recommended hard. So this is reason. Now, one of the ways you can sort this out is by lowering the public order, or going up in cultural policy, which increases your overall public order. So that's the other bit in Spain. So as Spain, I find you should focus on your main empire. You can't always really defend these areas, so you'd be better off to help the empire in their conquests around the place. Now you'll immediately notice you have a colonial army. This has come over from a new world to assist you in assist Spain against any problems they may face. You're immediately in range of Portugal. Now Portugal in this game is minor faction controlled, which is otherwise known as rebel controlled. And it's representing that Portugal had little to no influence in Europe at this time. Of course they were there, but they didn't really have much of a say in things at all. Their main power was really over in South America. So, yeah. On turn 20, you will have another colonial army, similar to this one, to either assist you in your conquests and all that. Your king's purse immediately is completely awful. I say awful, it's not too bad, but you're immediately losing money overall in your financial overview. So the king's purse just adds to your demise, or to your considerable amount of problems you'll get as playing Spain. The whole point of that, it gets considerably worse once the succession crisis happens, which will be on turn 2. At some point, beyond turn 100, if you get that far, Chile will become independent, and therefore you will lose 10k gold, I believe, just overall. And I don't know if it's in your king's purse or overall, but yeah. So if you recover from debt after turn 5, your king's purse will return to normal, and you get a free army for it. So the way to do that is just disband armies. So disband all this, and eventually fix your public order problem. Of course, you might want to keep the armies around. However, it doesn't matter. You want to get troops around any other way. Oh, there's me saving the game. And so yeah, there's the main events you'll have as Spain. So yeah, now one of the main enemies you will have and the main areas you'll be advised to invade. Now obviously you got Britain down here. You sort of want to just go after them straight away. They're going to hate you anyway because they're Protestant and you're Catholic. So may as well. And Morocco as well, they're Islamic. Still, they're all going to hate you. So you may as well just deal with them straight away. And obviously you got France to the north. Now with France, because they're Catholic, you can ally with them. You can probably ally with them and you have a good chance that they'll keep the alliance. However, France will normally expand south into you if you don't ally with them. Or you can go and expand north into them and completely surprise them. It's up to you how you want to do it. But I would say your main focus is on Fez Morocco, which control this bit down here. You want to deal with them and seize all of northwestern Africa straight away. Because otherwise Morocco's just going to attack you anyway. Same with anything you leave in Britain. So, yeah. So deal with the rebel settlements here is advisable while going after Gibraltar and Morocco. The Papal States over here will immediately attack you in southern Italy. That's their main plan. And you may face a few more uprisings from Genoa, or I say uprisings, a few more attacks from Genoa, Savoy, and Venice. They're definitely going to come and take Milan off you if they get the chance. Of course, unless of course the public order gets too bad for you to control, and the whole city just does a civil revolt against you, and that's it. So yeah. However, with Italy, it's probably advisable for you to just ignore Italy altogether, or try and sell off the settlements to Italian powers in terms for alliances and so forth. You could even sell Bruges off to France in terms of alliance if you can get a diplomat over there in time. So yeah, Spain needs to take Portugal manufacturing control, as I stated a minute ago. Your main and another enemy you might face is the French Republic, which spawns in around turn 40 something. Maybe a little bit later. I think it's 1740 they arrive, so you'll be probably have to deal with them. Depending, you know, if you ally with France or not. It's debatable what you can do there. So if the French Republic might come and attack you, they do spawn with some big armies, and they will immediately just take everything you have, essentially.
Your Majesty.
Now look at the family tree. You have the last Habsburg king, King Philip. As you can see, he's age 60, so he's gonna die very soon. And his son's Prince Louis, which I believe is his son. It might be his adopted son. Not too sure on the historical side of everything. However, in the game, that's just represented. He's just represented as a son. Teresa and Ulrica are the princesses you have. So you have some princesses similar to base game, so you'll have them to help you sort out alliances and whatnot.
On my way.
Madrid is your capital. You have quite a few towns around Spain. As you can see, the public order in Spain isn't too bad. Leon's a bit dodgy, but other than that, around this area, it's not too bad. You can, as I spoke about in the unit overview, you obviously will get Southern Light Pikemen to recruit, and militia and Renaissance cannon, and which will tell you you have to strongly upgrade your stuff straight away. Showing you how to do this because we have a little system. And I don't need to really explain this, it's just a policy system. It's been explained somewhere on the Lucium channel. So once you've built either military, it doesn't really matter. Well, it does matter. But that's all been explained elsewhere, I'm not going to go through all that. You have the option to build munitions production, which is essentially the blacksmith. A Catholic church, a subsistence farming, rural roads, which is just like dirt roads, essentially, very similar. And eventually you'll have the option to build, I will show you here because this is where you'll get your military units from here. Watch me fail how to... There, I got it. So as you can see, over here you have the conscription office. So eventually you'll get troops from there. Engineering building gets a Renaissance cannon. Straight away you can get the gun troops and cavalry from this Zaragoza. Naval base, you get some ships. And that's really it. And you can get yourself a small chapel that will get you a priest. Most places can get a priest. You have a priest and an envoy, so you can pretty much build them straight away. I will recommend it is advisable to get a diplomat straight away. You should always do that in Total War. It's the stock standard, really. But essentially, that is mostly it for this faction guide. I do try and keep these as short as possible. However, there isn't too much I can go into detail about, apart from letting you guys have a go yourselves. So I would recommend you give Spain a go. And let me know your thoughts. Let me know any more advice I can give you. There's not too much I can give you apart from what I've just said. So, yeah. So, essentially, this is it. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoy these faction guides. I will be covering them for each faction and everything that is for Lucium. So, Bolivars, I will do all that. And 2.6, I will eventually go for all that. Now, expect these videos once every Wednesday. This episode in particular is uploaded on Thursday, mainly because I didn't really have time to get it out on Wednesday, but I expect them to be out on Wednesday. Now, if I'm away on holiday, don't expect one. I'm not going to be worried about that. I won't be on holiday for a while anyway, but when the time comes, just don't expect one when I'm away. But yeah, nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed the faction guides. Hope they really helped. That's the whole objective of this video, and hopefully my commentary and stuff sort of improves as we go on doing more faction guides and all that. I do apologize if I do stumble or make any mistakes, but everyone's human. We all make mistakes. That's just how things are. So yeah, anyway guys, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and comment and subscribe, and make sure to subscribe to the Lucium official YouTube. Feel free to check out the Discord as well, and I will see you later.